I was scanning for Tanya. Okay, go show now that you've been told to sit down, please stand. Okay, so remember the point of this is to focus on this part because we're all people that have done something to get here. So the idea is to cease those whims so that you can be completely present today. Calm down, take your deep breaths, be zen, be in the zone. That's the point of this stuff here. And because we're here, we don't have a promise of a glorious day, we know it's going to happen. So, yeah. So, me inoi tato. Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tonga, kia mā kina kina ki uta, kia mā tara ki tai, e hi ake ana te atatara, e tio, e huka, e haununga, ti hei moriora. That was lovely. Timorika. Yeah, lovely. That's great. Take a seat, ladies. That's awesome. I actually went along with the first two lines, so you know, baby steps, baby steps.
Oh look, she's just coming.
Supporting women through their business journey. We've got some new people here today, so just talking about Chrysalis and how it fits in your business journey. So I've been running Chrysalis for the last 5-6 years. Crikey. And before that it was set up by Kim. But throughout all of it, this has been what we're all about. It's actually about supporting women through their business journey. And that isn't always about the business. It's actually about, the journey, of course, but it's the steps along the way. And sometimes that's support, sometimes that's conversations, sometimes it's coffee, sometimes it's knowledge, learning, connecting. There's a lot of parts that go on behind, that one statement. So I was having a wee chat with Natalie this morning because she's inspired my next speech. Yeah, thanks, Natalie.
You're welcome.
Now she's going, dear God.
Please don't repeat what I
That's
said.
all right. Everyone knows what's going to come in here.
No.
But one of the things I was wanting to talk about is that in business, there's no medals, right? There's no medals when you get to each stage. And so, what we were talking about is that we're always looking forward. What can I do next? What do I need to do? But we also have this thing sitting in our mind, right? What haven't I done? What have I dropped? What am I missing? What should I be doing? So, what I want to challenge you guys with today is to actually, when you get back, it's just to take some time. Just to take some time and look where you are now and when you started. Because I'm not retrospective, I never do that sort of stuff, and I just had an opportunity in my life recently where I just looked back and I thought, wow, she looks awesome. That is cool. Didn't feel very awesome at the time. It's only when you look back and see about the journey that you can actually get perspective about what you've actually achieved and what's helped you get there. So that's the end of that speech. The other side is I have a medal. I think there was my bum in one corner on the tally. So focus great. No. So yes, this is a participatory medal, which I'm not salty about. Because we go hard. So for those of you that don't know, I'm a dragon boater. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I got boo-hoo, I've got breast cancer, yahoo, I'm in the boat. I now qualify, so that all happened within a year, and I've been dragon boating for 14 years now. And every 4 years we have an international competition, and this year it was in karakia. We've been delayed with COVID. There's so much gone on in our team. Our team was decimated. With new people, we had so many things go wrong. In the last 6 weeks, I didn't even think we'd be in the top 20, the top 10. We were just turning up, and we were really happy at that point. It was participatory. But then something happened. And it was the fact that we spent time together. We had the national event, we spent time together, we did cool stuff. It had nothing whatsoever to do with dragon boating. We came together really strongly, and then when we got on the boat of 20 people, you all connect together. And
magic started to happen, and we came 4th out of 85 teams. Just taking that back to the business analogy, a lot of people here are, you're on your own. You're sitting at home, sometimes you're in your pajamas, sometimes, you actually get dressed. But sometimes it's who you bring on the boat with you that helps the magic start happening. And just because you don't get in the boat physically, or you don't have a team of 20 around you, you can choose who come in your boat and help you support and help you grow and move forward. And for me, just seeing this, and I know I'm mixing all my metaphors, but really, who you surround yourself with to help your boat go faster is super important. Anyway, next, now I'd like to introduce Kelly. She's going to talk about her Chrysalis Experience.
Morning, Nicola. I opened Danielle's email at 7:30 this morning, and so I have scribbled a few notes about my experience at Chrysalis, so forgive me if I look at my notes. Really interesting you started this morning talking about reflection, because that's immediately what I did. I thought I've been coming since August last year, so only 9 months, not a very long time. And I started to think about my journey into small business, so I've started a small coaching business, and my business actually started because of Chrysalis. So my good friend Suzanne Taylor, who runs Best Foot Forward House Dressing, I was saying to her, I really want to do coaching, I'm not sure where to train it, and she said, I've got a friend. And I think that's how Chrysalis works, yeah? I have a friend. And so she introduced me to Lorraine via email, and we had a Zoom, and Lorraine patiently asked all my questions around coaching. Wasn't seeking a coaching mentor or a course per se, but just wanted to have a chat, and then one thing led to another, and I ended up doing my coaching training through Lorraine, which was really great. So really I got my start with Chrysalis, which is awesome. And then I started to think about all the people that have kind of I've made connections with, and I made a bit of a list. So Heather, who's not here today, she reached out a couple of months ago and said, I've got a connection for a possible collaboration, and so she set that up for me, which was really awesome. I have coasters on my dining room table that are recycled timber, and I love the wording on them, and I've given them to friends. Sarah's not here, I don't think, but I've eaten a lot of her chocolate. So I'm really inspired by Jules and Cherie, who have transitioned from one business to another. They've made that pivot, and for someone in a new business and learning the business world, that's really inspiring. I've got to know Angela and Iona really well with Digital Boost, and I see them as mentors, people I can ask any question to, which is really great. I have read Jenny's newsletter from Choice Words and used her words to create my own, which is great. Kirsten has supported me with some website questions. She's very patient with me, as I have a lot of questions and get to grip with setting up a website. I thought about if Chrysalis was to write her manifesto, she would probably talk about 2 things, and the first one would be generosity. I've met that in everyone I've met here. People are kind with their time, their wisdom and experience, and coming from the public sector into the business world, it's just an awesome safe space. And the other one would be an encouraging community. I just think by all the connections I've made in a relatively short space of time, it's a really safe place to come and learn how to run a business and be really well supported in that. I look forward to my Friday mornings every time that I come. And then a pepeha came to mind, and also I don't want to mix my metaphors, but I felt it was really appropriate. So it's Popoia tikakana kia puawai, which means nurture the seed and it will blossom. And I see Chrysalis is a really great place to grow.
That's really lovely. Thank you so much for that. I just sort of thought I'd pop this in here, only because I'm part of BNI and I'm doing the education, and I just did it there this week, so I thought I could reshare it here as well, because there's been a lot around that it's tougher times, recession, blah, 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 blah. And so I totally stole this from somebody put out this article on stuff about, how we can, still achieve business success when times are tougher, because sometimes, if you get a knockback or a client disappears or they finish a contract, there's all sorts of things that can happen that really, they ruin our day. You sort of go, oh, what does that mean? And so I just wanted to just give you things that I talked about at the last meeting I did about things that you can do to just help mitigate that. So number one, and I just think this is, you know, if you take nothing else away, then take this one. It's look after your existing customers. Many of you are in a service-based industry, and that is always about looking after the customers that you have, and that could be a phone call, that could be a card, that could just be a check-in. Sometimes we get busy, we're looking for new business, we're looking for new customers. Look after what you have already. Have an ROI mindset, so return on investment. You know, you can look at the things that are happening in your business now. What are you paying for, and what is it giving you a return on that? Cash is king. It's about looking at your numbers. You know, make sure that you've looked at your numbers, not just where you are now, but where they are going forward. Because if things are going to take a dive, how sustainable is your business? You want to know if that's coming up so that you can put something else in place around it. And you know, it's not all doom and gloom. You know, you don't have to buy into that. People are still spending money. Denise is still taking people to Africa, right? We still have contracts coming up. There's a whole lot of things happening. People are still building houses. People are still looking to train as coaches. People are still doing up their homes and buying beautiful blinds for them, right? We're just making choices about where we spend our money. And you know, on that sustainable thing, you know, that is a big feature, because everything that people are buying right now, they are doing it in a really, really considered way. So anything that you can do, if you've got good practices, you know, really be emphasising that. It's not a time to cut down your marketing. It's a time to build up your marketing and tell your story, because there are other people that are going, oh, the sky's falling in, and they're going over hiding here. So it's your time to shine and connect. Have a plan, you know. I'm not a big one on business plan or even planning at all. So these are notes to myself. But we do need to sort of, and if things are tougher, and it's not just walking through the door. Now with service-based businesses, a lot of it is referral. Now what will happen to your business if that dried up? What is your plan, or what is your plan to keep those referrals coming in? So do take the time to think about that. Become a better leader. And so what I mean by that is, if you have a team, if you're going to grow a team, if you're going, even if it's outsourcing, what can you do to upskill yourself in terms of leadership? This is a big one for me. Like suddenly I've got a team of 6, and you know, it just doesn't, it's not sustainable for me to just be telling people what to do all the time. How can I become a better leader? Improve your business culture. It's not always about beers and prizes and all of that sort of stuff. You know, what are your business values? Are you walking the talk? Are you communicating that? If you don't have a team, are you communicating that to your customers? Because I know with a lot of conversations I've been having recently, that people are working with other people that are very much aligned with their values, and they will pay more for that. So it does not become a money issue, it becomes an aligned values. Again, back to the choices. We're not doing as much, but we're being really, really focused on making the choice of who we work with and what we buy. Look after yourself. You can't pour from a leaky bucket. Your own health, your own mental health, everything that you do. If you fall down, what does your business look like? So note to self. And remember, your business has potential. You got into your business because there was a demand, because somebody is prepared to pay what it is that you sell or offer. So just remember what it's all about. Did I spell that wrong?
Yeah.
How many typos so far, Joe?
Just
I'm just one.
Okay. Your side.
Yeah, well, on my side, yeah, the ones Jane didn't do, yeah. And just this last one, it's this was not from stuff, but it's connect. Again, back to what I've just been saying, people buy from people with aligned values, people that they feel get their business. So get out of home, try and network. You have Chrysalis once a month. What are you doing for the other 3 weeks of the month? Find ways to network, to connect, to meet people for coffee. It's always in those conversations that business or support or something comes. So please get out of your jammies. So what's coming up next with Chrysalis? In May, we have a meeting. We have Introduction to Profit First. That's super exciting. Looking forward to that. And then in June, we're doing your best photo shoot. So that will be here. We've got a couple of people talking about that one, haven't we? About that's Juliet, and we're talking about how it fits with your brand, and that's kind of a follow-on from the branding conversation that we have. So more information will come about both of those. In May, we've got Jane Hyde from Pick Me, Flowers and Gifts. She's actually in Australia, so she's going to Zoom. It's a client Jane, Andrew and I have worked with, and this woman is a human dynamo. Where she's gone to where she's got to, and you know, like Amber, like all of us here, the business journey is not this, it's you know, and it's been the same for Jane, and she's really inspirational what she's done and drove through that. So that will be a Zoom meeting. Remember your keep cup for the next one, and invite somebody, just bring a friend. Sometimes people, when you start out in business, we tend to put a persona on that everything's great, everything's amazing, we don't need any help. It's a lie. It's just a lie. It might be true for one day, but you know. So even if somebody looks like they've got it all sorted, ask them along, and they might just enjoy the support as well. So if I can ask Kath to end this for us with wrap it up with a karakia. Everybody would like to stand, please.
Kia horo, te manaho, kia whakapapa, koirana o te moana,